In a quiet village called Mirpur, a 14-year-old girl named Zara made a discovery that would shatter her world. Buried deep beneath her family's home, she found an ancient book, wrapped in goatskin and sealed with black wax. Its name was Kitab-e-Qehr, the Book of Wrath. The moment she broke that seal, and its pages fell open, something ancient, something evil, stirred from its long sleep. That very night, the terror began. At precisely 3 a.m., all 5 members of Zara's family screamed awake at the exact same instant. Each one of them saw the same horrifying vision: a tall hooded figure standing at the foot of their bed, its face hidden in shadow, pointing a long skeletal finger directly at them. The figure was gone in a blink, but the cold dread it left behind was only the beginning. Within days, the house itself seemed to turn against them. Zara's father, a once vibrant man, became an empty shell. He would go ice cold and silent, staring at the walls for hours on end, his eyes completely vacant, as if his soul had been scooped out. The eldest son, Hamza, started sleepwalking. Every night, he would descend to the basement and, in a trance-like state, draw strange, unsettling symbols on the floor. Symbols he had no memory of creating when he woke up. The younger son, Billow, suffered a different kind of torment. He started hearing his name whispered from inside the walls. A faint, hissing sound that followed him everywhere. It tormented him until his eyes turned a sickly shade of yellow and he refused to eat a single bite of food. The physical manifestations of the curse grew bolder. Small, wet, black handprints began appearing on the ceiling directly above every bed in the house, as if something had been crawling over them while they slept. They were always fresh. Desperate, the family sought help from a village elder, a wise man named Baba Jalil. When he arrived, he stopped dead at their doorstep, a look of pure terror on his face. He refused to even set foot inside. He explained that 100 years ago, a powerful and evil sorcerer had been killed in that very spot. Before his death, he had bound his soul to the Kitab-e-Qehr. Whoever opened the book, Baba Jalil warned, had surrendered their entire bloodline to him. The sorcerer would claim them, one soul at a time. The 7th night after the book was opened, the family gathered for a silent, tense dinner. Suddenly, the father stood up. His eyes were no longer empty. They were completely, unnaturally black, like pools of ink. He moved without emotion, as if something else was wearing his body like a suit. He walked slowly to the kitchen, picked up a large knife, and descended into the basement. The family locked the door, terrified, but when they finally mustered the courage to open it, he was gone. Vanished without a trace from a locked room. Hamza was the next to disappear. One morning, his bed was simply empty. No sign of his struggle, no explanation. He was just gone. The loss of her husband and eldest son shattered their mother's mind. She retreated into a corner of the house, rocking back and forth, whispering the dead sorcerer's name over and over again. Lost to the world forever. Now, only Zara and her sickly brother Bilal remain. Baba Jalil returned, his face etched with grim finality. He told them there was only one way to end the curse. The book had to be burned inside a circle of salt. But there was a terrible price. The one who burned it could never leave the circle. They would become the new vessel, the eternal prison to seal the evil away forever. Without a moment of hesitation, Zara looked at her broken, terrified brother. She stepped into the salt circle that Baba Jalil had drawn. She took the book from the old man's trembling hands. A small, sad smile touched her lips as she looked at Bilal one last time. "I opened the door," she whispered, her voice clear and steady. "I will close it." She struck a match. The instant the flame touched the book, the entire house screamed. It was a sound not of wood and stone, but of pure agony. The walls began to bleed a thick, black substance. Every window in the house exploded outwards in a shower of glass. The chaos was deafening, terrifying. And then, absolute, sudden silence. When Bilal finally dared to open his eyes, the salt circle was empty. Zara was gone. The book was gone. Everything was gone. Nothing remained of his sister. Except for one small, black handprint on the floor, pressed deep into the wood at the very center of the circle. And it was still wet. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more.